right, here we are, FightWorld.tv, and I'm here with founder Stéphane Patry, Quebec MMA legend, if you will. And I know I'm going to get some flack for saying that, but feel free to write me, put in the comments. I don't care, because truth is truth. Everyone that talks about you, there's one thing they say: promoter extraordinaire. You know how to build MMA cards. I think you started on the right foot right now for October 7th, Instinct MMA. Huge fights announced today. I'm going to ask you, my first question is going to be a loaded one.
Okay, go ahead.
Were you surprised at the level of talent, the caliber and talent that were available for you as a free agent here in Quebec? Were you surprised when you came onto the scene?
I mean, I don't want to say bad things about anyone, but what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
How come Bossé doesn't have a contract? How come Cote is available? How come Goetze is available? How come Lamar's available? How come the young Vigneault's available? This guy is a jewel. You know, I mean, I guess somebody's not doing his job.
Now, we asked a lot of the fighters the question, and we let them answer it. And the feedback that we've been getting so far is, you know what, I'm interested in signing for Instinct MMA because of the simple fact Stéphane Patry knows how to build fighters, he knows how to build careers, he knows how to be a promoter. Some have said managing, well, maybe not, but as a promoter, you're the man. What are your thoughts about coming into this market right now, having that kind of reputation? Is that something that you can build on?
Of course. I mean, I know what I've done in the past. I know what I'm going to do now, and like I said in the last interview we did, marketing. It's all about marketing. It's all about building the fighters. It's all about pretty much giving them a stage to be stars. And if you don't do that, then you're going to fail. But I won't fail. Now I know exactly what I'm doing, and I think it's. I know it's going to get big very, very fast.
Important question, I think, is you come off with Steve Bossé versus Houston Alexander, 6-time UFC veteran Houston Alexander. Not only do you sign him, but you're able to bring him in for the press conference and do things a little bit different that we haven't seen before in the past. Is that part of the marketing strategy to also make sure that you're bringing in these top talent fighters in the province, in Quebec, and showing them off long before the fights take place?
Of course. I mean, like I said at the press conference, Gary, I've done great things with TKO. I brought TKO to a pretty high level, but I didn't have all the tools that I have today. Today I have huge tools, and I'm telling you, this thing's going to be big. It's not only, where I'm from Quebec. I'm a Montrealer. I'm going to do a lot of shows in Montreal, but this thing's going international. I don't care where you do the shows, even if it's on the moon. It can be on pay-per-view in Asia. So our base is going to be Montreal, but we're going to be very huge internationally.
Now, I have to ask a question because, you know what, at the end of the day, one of the criticisms from you in the past has been surrounding Steve Bossé in the sense that not signing him and promoting him, but where he is in front of other fighters. This card, it's the same thing. Steve Bossé is headlining the card, and while he has co-main event status, if you will, Patrick Cote is not the main draw. What are your thoughts about that? Because basically, that's one of the things that you're known for, and that's also back again.
Yeah, I understand. What you're saying, but at the same time, you have to understand two things. First, Patrick Cote is with us for one fight. His goal is to go back to the UFC. Steve Bossé wants to be the poster boy of Instinct. That's the difference. And it's also the fights. If I sign Patrick Cote to fight Anderson Silva, then, I'm not an idiot. It's going to be the main event. Patrick Cote is fighting a very tough opponent, a very good fighter in Crafton Wallace, but it doesn't have the marquee fight of Bossé Alexander. So obviously, if you look at the fight card, the big fight is Bossé Alexander. So that's the reason it's the main event. It's not Bossé ahead of Cote or anything like that. It's really Instinct is going to build around Steve Bossé, and that's what it is. That's my decision. If a dealership opens up a car dealership in front of the street there, it's their decision. They can do whatever they want with it. And my decision is to build around Bossé, Gauthier, and all the other guys that are coming up. I don't see why Guillaume Vigneault wouldn't be a star like his cousins in a year from now. Maybe he's going to be the guy headlining. I'm not trying to give anybody preferential status, but Steve is the man right now. He's the man that sells the most tickets behind Georges St. Pierre, and he's the guy that the fans want to see, so that's why he's our guy.
And you got quite a few other guys that you've helped build up the careers that had a lot of success under you. Derek Gauthier, Guillaume Lamarche. What about guys like Tim Wadsworth? I saw him on the promo video. Didn't see him yet on the card. He was a fantastic fighter under you. You have guys like him that you're potentially eyeing and looking at?
Yeah, Tim is most probably going to fight on the card. I didn't announce anything about him right now because he has a fight on September 2nd. And I don't want to announce something and then say, oh, sorry, he's hurt, right? Mm-hmm. So Fabio is training him for 2 fights right now. And if everything goes well for him in 2 weeks and he's not hurt or anything or not suspended, he's going to be on the card. I mean, I love Tim, but at the same time, Tim needs to fight real fights. He can't fight the guys he fought before anymore. It's time for him to fight real fighters.
And one thing about your organization, when you had TKO, website was always up. You had great information on the fighters as well. I'm hearing, as announced on the press conference today, you're going to have your website up. I want to talk to people about the Earl and where people can get the information and what's going to be there.
It's going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's going to be www.instinctmma.tv. Everything's going to be there. I mean, you'll see that it's an amazing webpage, and we have the bios, the fight cards, the ring girls, Instinct team, everything is there. Ticket sales, very complete, very nice webpage.
You know what? So this is the main man behind Instinct MMA. I know really great shout out you had to Gary Chartrand. Talked about him being an advisor to you, a counselor, someone that you've gone to for advice, personal friend as well. He's helped lend his license for you to get this in the event. Is it still in the event of, or is it if you don't get your even if you do get the license, will you still have it under his banner?
No, we already took the decision. He's actually not lending me his license. He is promoting the show.
Yes,
I'm gonna technically work for him for this first show. Yes. And I mean, he came up with the idea because I was in a position where because it was taking longer. And by the way, the fact that it takes longer it's not because of Stéphane Patry. Everybody that's going to apply for a license now since May 23rd, it's going to be the same length. So and like I said, I'm happy to do that because I wouldn't be back if the SQ and the commission were not doing their diligent work to make sure that we have the right people in the sport. So I'm happy to do that, and it's one of the reasons I'm back. So for the first show, because I wasn't able to wait till September 1st and then start selling tickets for a show and sell them for only 1 month. It's crazy. So it was either I pulled the plug or I was giving the rights to the show to Gary, and that's what I did.
All right, well, you know what, and I think it's a great homage that you paid to him leading up into that into the press conference as well. So now, regardless, it will be under Gary Chartrand's banner. But all the marketing team, all the infrastructure, if you will, how does that affect in terms of the contract signings? Are you still able to sign fighters to you as a brand? How does that work?
Yeah, well, we have promotional agreements with fighters, but the bout agreements are going to be between Gary and the fighters because he's the one promoting the show. So obviously, it changes a lot of things. Obviously, it's going to be sold out, and I'm going to lose a lot of money because of that. Because he's a promoter, he's going to be the one making the money. But I'm going to get a salary. I'm going to work on the show, and it's going to help create the banner and get ready for when the license is. I get the license for show number 2.
Well, show number 1, though, is October 7th. You got a fantastic card, phenomenal group of fighters. Really looking forward to it. Message out to all the fans who, they've been coming in the thousands supporting your show. So we expect to see that again. Message out to them.
Guys, pack up the arena fast because this is going to be an amazing show. You don't want to miss Alexander against Bosse. You don't want to miss Butterbean. He's a legend. It's maybe the last time you'll ever see him in an arena fighting in Montreal. So, and then Cote, UFC vet, and all the young guys. It's going to be the best card in Quebec ever. I think it's my best card ever.
Well, you know what? Then just have to buy tickets on October 7th, and you can make the decision yourself. Stéphane Patry, Instinct MMA. Thank you very much.